Sorry, I don't date Republicans. That's okay, because we conservatives don't date women with penises. Yeah, it's funny how you're trying to be transphobic, but you just accidentally acknowledge that women can have dicks. I'm posting this on r/accidentalally. Lol. Well, no one said you had to date anyone who is trans. No one said you have to date conservatives. By the way, this t-shirt looks really fake. Like, it doesn't actually look like someone actually went through the trouble of making a t-shirt like this, but if you did, I would kind of understand, actually. You know? And I would also kind of like, I'm kind of a fan of people wearing their identity or something about their beliefs like this kind of very openly. Same as when I kind of appreciate when people show their red flags, because, well, if they show you from the start right when you get to know them, then you're not gonna fall kind of in love with the idea of this person and then later just kind of try to ignore the red flags away. So it's kind of easier if someone shows you who they are right from the start, you know? Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute, if not longer, since we've been on r/accidentalally. I entirely forgot the subreddit existed. But anyways, that's what we're doing today. But you know the deal, before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go. On an anti-trans Facebook page, Biology Reality Australia, public page. Girls can be whatever they want to be, they just can't be boys. The thing is, we agree. We just kind of include different people in the definition of girls in this case, because you just mean anyone who is assigned female at birth. We just mean anyone who identifies as a woman or a girl. Because trust me, yeah, trans people try to, you know, try to get to terms with the gender they were assigned. They try to we try to live as the gender we were assigned. We try to make it work, really. We try very hard to be that, but it just doesn't work because we aren't what we were assigned. You know, that's kind of the whole point. So yeah, girls can be anything they want. I'm very here for this message, actually. A boy can like dolls, pink, have longer hair, and still not need to be trans. Yes, gender roles don't determine gender, and a trans woman is still a woman, even if she doesn't like those things. Again, very here for this, because yeah, gender and gender roles and gender expression, and, you know, like, these are all different things. But the thing is, a lot of conservatives don't seem to agree, because as soon as a man puts on nail polish, then suddenly he's not a man anymore, and you want to revoke his man card. But if a trans woman is like, yeah, no, actually I'm a woman, that's why I like wearing dresses, then suddenly she's still a man. Make it make sense, I guess. But yeah, I agree. You can like dolls and pink and have longer hair and be a boy. Or you can be a girl. It kind of just matters who you are. You know, what you like is kind of secondary and really doesn't influence your gender. Still a man. Still not a man. Okay, I don't even remember which one the ally was, but this is the funniest example, because people keep pulling things like this, because the whole "oh, we can always tell" crowd really cannot tell. And these two people showed this very beautifully by commenting at the same time and trying both very hard to be transphobic. One of them kind of managed, I guess, depending on if this was a trans woman or a trans man, but you've very much proved to us once again that you really cannot tell, and that you're a shitty person because you're literally just trying to be hateful. And I think you can find a more productive use of your time if you put effort in, you know? I realized I'm gay today. You're not gay, dude. Go find a girl. she is a girl. Gay women exist. You know, like, I know that's hard for some men to understand, that there are women who aren't into men at all. Like, a lot of men find that hard to believe, apparently, but yeah. And also, this is a really weird way to react to someone being like, oh yeah, no, I'm gay, actually. It's like, no, you're not. Bro, you don't even know this person, apparently. But even if you did, don't you think they know themselves better? And don't you think by the time they tell anyone, let alone post it publicly on the internet somewhere, that they've thought about it quite well and quite long and have taken the time to figure it out for themselves? And then you as a stranger just come like, no, that's not true. You're lying. You just need to go hook up with the opposite. Really? Really? Is that what you're saying? I mean, if you're a lesbian or a queer woman, then yeah, dude, go find a girl. You know? My pronouns are... You have exactly 10 seconds to get the frig off my me page. He, man. He, man. He freaking man. He literally can't introduce himself without telling you his pronouns, you idiots. Yeah, that's kind of thing. Like, people forgetting what pronouns are and thinking that only queer people or only trans people use pronouns, when everyone uses pronouns. I and you, also pronouns. You know? And yeah, he's literally he, man. He literally has his pronouns in his name, which is practical. You know? Like, that's just fair. That's more practical than putting them in your bio or something, because every time you introduce yourself to, you don't have to be like, hey, my name is this, my pronouns are this. You can just like, I'm he-man. And it'll be the same thing, only like a lot shorter, you know? So yeah, he literally cannot introduce himself without his pronouns, and I think it's practical. Girls, listing all the things they need in a partner. Very long list. Men, vagina. But it's optional, actually. When you misogyny your way into allyship. Congratulations. Because honestly, if that is your requirement, then good for you. Like, having things that are optional, like, honestly, having like a really strict type, I don't understand it really, but I'm kind of asexual, so it kind of makes sense that I don't get it. But like, I don't really get like having a really strict type of being like, no, but I only like height this to that, and only like brown eyes and dark hair, and I don't, like, it seems strange. Like, a lot of people have kind of traits they like in partners, right? And kind of find it more important how they interact with each other, you know, and if they're comfortable with each other. And that seems fair. Like, hey, I want my partner to treat me well. I want them to be nice to me. I want them to see me as an equal partner, you know? Seems like a very, very fair list. And also the amount of misogynistic men we've seen to be like, no, but I want my wife to be a lot smaller than me. I want her to not weigh more than 110 or 20 or 30 pounds. I want her to be submissive. I want her to be able to cook, and I want her to dress femininely, and I want her to take care of the children. I want her to have as many children as I want. And, you know, these endlessly long lists, like, I've seen that a lot more from men, so I'm not even sure where you're getting your points from. A gay man. You're so handsome. You don't care that I'm a trans dude? I'm gay, not dicksexual. Continues to make out. Facts, because trans men are biological men who pretend to be females. They're still men, as they will always be, but they have a mental illness where they want to be the opposite sex, so then they get trans. The trans man is a biological man who pretends to be a woman. Right on. I mean, I guess a lot of trans men pretend to be women for a long time. As I said, trans people try very hard to be the gender they were assigned, but I still don't understand why it's so difficult for people to tell trans men and women apart. Like, it's literally in the name. Trans is an adjective. Trans men literally means a man who is... Are adjectives that difficult? It's confusing to me. It's hilarious because then things like this happen. But I still don't understand why people are so confused by it, but it happens to be a lot of people. Anyways. But yeah, like if you're a gay man and you have like a genital preference, or if you're anyone and you have a genital preference, you're like, well, I only want to deal with dicks, or I really only want to deal with vaginas. Then so be it. You know, like no one's saying you have to like all genitals. No one's saying you have to find all genitals sexy or attractive. No one's saying that. And if you want to date someone, then date them. And if you don't want to date them, then don't. You know, but if you're transphobic, trans people will definitely not want to date you anyway. So it's kind of convenient that we don't like each other, I guess. You will never be a what? You will never be a woman. Yeah, thanks for validating my gender. I guess I didn't need your validation, but thanks for giving it anyways. I love how the original person, either you were like too stupid to type, or like one of your letters wasn't working, or you were just so confused and went to check to try to be transphobic accurately, but accidentally hit send. Either way, since you didn't like go back and correct it or just delete it and post it again, I kind of feel like you didn't even notice. But yeah, you will never be a... You know what I'm trying to say. That's great. What a great use of your time to not even type it out properly when you're just trying to be transphobic. Some guy who's against LGBT has this on his profile. Pansexual much? I'm gender blind. What? Are you trying to be all like, I only see biological sex? Because, again, you've kind of proven that you can't. Like, sure, with some trans people, it is really obvious. Okay. But passing isn't even the goal. You know? But you're aware that there are so many trans people that you can't tell with, and that your attempt at identifying all the trans people has led you to make a total ass out of yourself, because you've been like, no, but that woman, she's not a woman, she's a man, even though it's like literally a biological woman. But you want to be transphobic to literally anyone and just be like, no, but you're too masculine to be a woman. You know what? It's okay. You can just sit back and accept that you don't know everything. And just chill and let people live their lives, you know? Like, it's not actually that difficult. I'm 18 months on HRT. My family says they can't figure out what I am anymore. But I think that's a good thing. I'm non-binary. It's kind of funny. Like, does your family not know you're non-binary? Like, do they think you're a trans man or something? That's like, bro, I can't even figure out what's going on with you anymore. Not realizing... I mean, listen, the people where you just know they're commenting just to be transphobic, it's kind of hilarious, really. Because it's so obvious that they're just posting it because they're trying to ruin your day, and it's just kind of funny to me. But I feel like your family didn't even do it with that intention. Like, they didn't even... necessarily, well, maybe they did, I don't know your family, but maybe, I don't think they were necessarily saying this to be hurtful. Like, I think it was supposed to be helpful to be like, well, we can't figure out what's going on, so strangers can't either, so you might want to, like, make it more obvious when, in fact, you're executing your plan perfectly. And I think you look really great. Because in the end, happiness is all that matters. Still a man. Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's not like I have FTM in my username. And again, like, it would take these people like a 10-second Google search. Minute at most. To Google, what does FTM mean? Or what does trans man mean? And then they could be like accurately transphobic, But they don't even go to that effort to Google for like 10 seconds. And that just makes it funny, because it's giving, like, I'm an angry second grader and I'm gonna insult your mom because that's the first thing I can think of. It's giving those vibes, actually. Adults with pronouns still in your bios. You look insane, have some self-respect, it's over. If they call themselves they, them, it's because they can pretend they have friends. So funny. I've never heard this one before, at least. You know, like, this is actually so some points for creativity, but not really. Because, again, it's just giving I'm 12 and have a lot of growing up to do, so I'm just gonna try to come for everyone else, because as long as I'm, you know, being allowed, like, it's kind of the dorks that bark don't bite. It's kind of a trying to just make yourself sound important, you know, and laughing with your other, like, 12-year-old boys who don't know anything about anything yet. Really, it's giving those vibes, and I can't take it serious. Still looks like a man. Yeah, that's the point. Wow, your transphobes are not beating the idiot allegations. Yeah, that's the point. And again, like, I mean, I don't get going through the trouble of just, like, actually just going to people's videos or posts or whatever just to comment. Like, if I see something and I don't like it, I'm just like, I don't get it, or I don't want to deal with a certain topic, you can always scroll past, you know? You can do that, but no, instead you comment to either just be rude or, like, were you trying to be helpful in your head to be like, well, you still look like a man, you might want to work on that? Which, A, really isn't helpful if that was your intention, but even if your intention was just to be hateful, if you are on the video anyway, why just not watch it for 10 seconds longer, so you might actually have some context to try to be accurately transphobic. But you don't even go through the trouble, and it's still laughable. Left-wing people really are scumbag bottom feeders. Oh, wow, I'm gonna call someone a Nazi for saying a male can be a woman. Go suck a girl dick, gross weirdo. I mean, listen, if you wanna suck a girl dick, go do that. Like, no one's judging you. Or at least I'm not judging you. If you're here watching these videos, you better not be judging either. Just saying. But listen, what even? Like, I don't think calling someone a Nazi for saying a male can be a woman. I don't think we're calling anyone a Nazi for saying a man. What? Again, if you want to rant about people, you might at least want to make sense. Am I just too tired to understand what this person is saying? Maybe, but I really do not even understand that point right now. Geez, honey, you look great. And to think back that in the thread you were never a morning person. Thank you? I guess? Like, I don't even think this comic was trying to be transphobic or anything, and just ended up being the exact opposite, but listen, that's great. These two people, they met when they were in the frat together in university, and then she figured out that, oh wait, maybe I'm not a frat boy, I'm actually a woman. But her husband was just like, well, actually, that's really sexy of you. I'm gonna marry you and tell you how beautiful you are every morning. And I think it's beautiful. Me in 2008, just commenting on someone's reel, okay, you're a girl. Correct. So you're a she, her. Yeah. Actually, yes. And again, why not go through the trouble of just watching the whole video? Because I kind of feel like this TikTok or this reel wasn't actually that long. And you just didn't bother to watch it completely before typing a comment. I really... I don't understand these people. I know that. But I keep noticing that, you know? But thanks for checking on their pronouns, you know? I guess. we feminists fought against limiting people by their biology, not defining them by it. We're women, so we experience menstruation, pregnancy, childbirth, menopause, but that's not all we're capable of. And not all women experience those things. Not all women, yes, but only women are able to. Not trans men. Why? Because they're men, we know. Okay, several points. We'll start at the top. Yeah, a lot of women will experience menstruation, pregnancy, childbirth, menopause. That's literally true. Like, a lot of women will do that. If you're a woman and you don't want to experience childbirth and pregnancy, totally fair. And just saying that that's not all women are capable of, I agree. Because again, we've been over this, girls can be anything they want to be, women can be anything they want to be, and if a man tries to tell you otherwise, he's just an idiot. But anyways, I agree so far. I'm not sure what kind of person this upper person is, if they're trying to be transphobic, to be like, well, women are women, but only biological women. I don't know if that's their angle, or if they're literally just like, well, not thinking about trans people, just be like, well, women do these things, or go through these things, or experience these things, but that's not all we do. Which is a great point, because people even still forget that, apparently. Then saying not all women experience these things. Entirely fair. Like, not even all cis people, or cis women, will experience these or all of these. And yeah, trans women won't. So I agree with them there. But then, the fact that people just forget, again, that trans men are men who are trans is kind of funny. Is it just because they get it so twisted in that to be like, well, no, but I think they're still men no matter what they do, and that's why they're trans men, even though they're literally, like, it's... I feel like I will never understand what's going on in these people's head, no matter how much I try. But anyways, saying not all women, yes, but only women are able to, not trans men. I think a lot of trans men wish they wouldn't go through any of these on the top. Like, I know some trans men want to get pregnant, and I know some men just, like, figure out they were trans after, you know. So yeah, some trans men will actually go through childbirth and all of this on the top, you know, depending on when they transition. I'm confused why y'all so confused, you know? And to finish off, just cause it's so accurate, cis people literally don't think trans guys exist. They only think trans women exist because there's more to demonize under the guise of protecting and caring about cis women all of a sudden. They barely acknowledge us, and any transphobia they give us is typically, okay, lesbian, or transphobia directed towards trans women and assuming we're trans women, hence half the posts here are greater. It's honestly kind of sad, but it's amusing because whenever I post online anywhere about being trans, even if I go out of my way to specify FTM, all any cis person seems to think is that trans women. Even when I made a post asking about gynecologists in my area and specified how I was trans, many bigots assumed I was a trans woman who wanted a fake gynecologist to look at my dick for some reason. Literally no trans girl ever would do this. Someone commented, literally, I'm a trans man, and just got someone on Twitter who only saw the trans part in my bio tell me, you think you're a girl? Well, you're not. Like, thank you, bro. Because literally this just sums up this whole subreddit and what so many people think. Like, there are so many misogynistic people out there. And so many people who literally think women are inferior or shouldn't have rights. But instead of coming for those people to actually take steps towards protecting women and showing that you care about women, you decide to come for trans people. Sure, seems like a very productive use of your time, but literally these people keep forgetting that trans men exist. And they keep confusing trans men and trans women because maybe it's just because in their head only trans women exist, you know, and then they think Like, they don't really think, they just read the trans, they don't even really care what word comes after that. Again, here I go trying to understand these people, and I don't think I will. Well, anyways, that is all the absurdity I can take for today. Actually, I really need to go to bed. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the memes. I hope you can laugh at these people with me. And I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe drink something now. And I'll be back in a few days to remind you again.